and a Bristleback. Their best stop running at me spells are what Lina and Lesh stuns, but that's about it. They're still pretty low armor. I really like the Bristleback.
Do you think? Here. I mean, Shadow Demon, he's got Purge. I mean, early game he's not going to be level 6, but Disruption, Purge is not going to be enough.
I mean, the ultimate works, I guess.
You just throw that on the Bristleback because the Undying is less mobile. It's more like you want to get out of the Tombstone, but it's less scary when the Undying's chasing you compared to the Bristleback.
I guess that's right. The ultimate is pretty good, but it is only 4 seconds, and it's only one hero. So if they do get overrun in any way, I think they're just going to get a big crushed in the escape, especially with Dro there. So
TA ban not wanting to lose the mid matchup, I guess, depending on whether it's the Dro or the Leshrac, but probably suggesting that they're thinking about saying the Dro mid, since that would be a worse matchup for the Dro than the Lesh you can farm just using the nukes.
Yeah, she would lose that, I believe. TA is definitely very capable of punishing. And when TA hits 6 and you've got traps on the hill, very easy to get that solo kill. You'd have to land the Gust. If you miss the Gust, then you die 100%. And if there's anything else, like a fissure or something, then it's even more dangerous. So
what G-Guard look to do? They don't really have that natural pesky support to go with the Undying in the offlane. CM can kind of do it, but we may have a solo level 6, and we'll see what they go for as their last
could
big.
Could just be Earthshaker if it's defensive. I mean, if
Earthshaker Undying.
Yeah,
I could see that working.
Earthshaker's an old school paired with an offlane hero. If Shadow Demon disrupts, then you throw the stun on the Lina, for example. Hopefully not block enough your Undying. I think it's the solution if the Earthshaker plays well. I don't know if I'd want to do that, but maybe it's... does that even save him, though? I feel like he's going to die no matter. G-Guard does pick the Tinker. A bit of an unexpected pick there. Not a hero that we see very often lately. The skill or the item build has changed a little bit since he was really popular with Dagon E-Blade. More Bloodstone into Shivas, I feel like we're seeing.
Yeah.
It's a little different based on every player. So
I'm even curious skill build wide, because I think I was talking to Hani yesterday or a day or two ago, and he's saying like he thinks more Tinkers should be doing laser rockets and just rush your boot to travel, go to TP to a lane, and spam a couple rockets to zone out the enemy carry.
That's actually a really good idea, because you could cast, what, 2 sets of rockets, that's like 1,000 magic damage in an AoE, not necessarily an AoE, but you know, hitting multiple heroes. That a lot of supports early game, if they've got Tranquil Boots, it's not a big deal, but if they're pre that, or if they don't have a ton of regen, they're just out of the lane. That's a good idea. But the downside is you can't just passively farm, and if you do die a couple times, or you get behind, then that build is just terrible, because there's no way to catch up if you're losing. So
and their other heroes is like a Bristleback, he scales decently, but then outside of that, it doesn't feel like they have the best late game options, so... We'll see how they look to do things, how they look to lane it, and here we go, Game 2, MVP HOT6 versus G-Guard, HOT6 with the 1-0 advantage.
They got 1 point, they want 2 more. If they take this win, they're starting the tournament off very, very well.
So it will be an Earthshaker in the off lane, as that means Undying going to be a support. As Winter picks up the Undying, possibly suggesting just into the safe lane. I think there's just no way they could contest a Shadow Demon Lina plus either Dro or the Leshrac lane.
Yeah,
they don't have that good. Like you say, the only way they can do it is with an Earthshaker, and then it's purely defensive. Well, last game HOT6 had with the Undying Witch, they were just holding their own, leeching XP. They were never getting zoned out of the lane. I feel like the Undying this game could get zoned out, even if he doesn't die because of the fissure.
So Darkseer in the offlane is going to be able to do a pretty good job versus Bristleback. He's going to get zoned for sure. Maybe not completely zoned, but you know, it'll be harder for him to last hit, as he will take damage from Iron Shell whenever he comes. So Darkseer's been pretty popular against any melee carry. They did pick it pretty late. I believe it was their last pick, so they're definitely going to be happy with that. It's going to force the supports potentially to be in lane. Although they do have a counter with the Crystal Maiden. If Crystal Maiden gets fast level 2, he can frostbite the creeps that are Iron Shelled, and that could give him some more space. It will push the lane, but at the very least, I don't think they have to be super worried. I feel like CM's a decent option.
I think CM may even get Frostbite level 1 just for the jungle potential. Undying Undying will zone out the Darkseer, and then CM will just get the fast level 2 in the jungle.
Yeah, definitely. But once you get 2, I think he can shift over. Maybe Undying does the pulls. He would need the levels more at that point, and CM can sap a bit. So... a little bit of bounty runes. And
is that the new Leshrac Immortal?
Yes, it looks a little weird. I was honestly surprised that people were using it in their professional games for TI5, because it does change your... It looks slightly different in your animation. The timing's the same, but Yamate using the laser to blind, and
if it like makes you miss a couple last hits because of you're getting thrown off by seeing something different, it's like...
Yes.
What are you thinking at that point?
Look, the animation just all look different. Like,
that's kind of cool.
What if you don't cancel it at the right time, for example. Yeah. If, like, I mean stun animation, not the it hitting the ground and there being an AoE, but what Leshrac does, normally he rears back and you know, oh, he's at this point in the animation, I'm sure that I can get this, I can cancel a stun in time. That stuff changes. It's just a little crazy to me that they changed that.
I totally agree. I'm about to say, if I'm like the coach or captain of that team, I'd be like, guys, we're not using these new immortals.
Yeah, go play like 2 pub games with it and then I'm cool with it. But if this is your first game with it, man, that makes me uncomfortable. So
I'm sure Valve are happy. He's showing off the new
guys,
immortals.
Spend money on spend money on TI5 for minions.
But we'll see how. So mid matchup, Tinker versus Leshrac. Any thoughts here? How will Tinker fare against Lesh?
I think Lesh is the better farmer here because he can spam Lightning Storm a bit more. And obviously Tinker does have laser, but he's got to get it within laser range. And in most cases, MP is just going to be far away and spamming Lightning. So I think it's going to be fine for him. Yep. I don't think it's going to be a big deal.
I do like what Tinker is doing. He's holding skill points. He'd get the second point in laser, which is kind of standard, but if a kill opportunity is there for the heat-seeking rockets, he probably will get it, but otherwise, if there's stacks in the jungle, he'll probably just go the standard March build.
I actually tried something like this in the pub the other day. I did get 2 levels of laser early, and it worked. I was like, I might have been versus an anti-mage, and it's pure damage, so it's extra strong compared to a typical nuke. It's a very, very strong ability to have that early in the game.
Oh, Jerax on the back foot here, but Ben's going to decide otherwise. Even with the DD rune, he had boots, but we Ling now swinging towards mid. Are they going for another courier snipe time?
CM is a little scary to do that because our base damage is so low.
It takes, what, 3 or 2 right clicks?
I think it should be 2 because the courier is 75. It's close.
The courier has a lot of armor, or is it just the
I don't think the walking courier does.
Okay.
It's going to be moving out. Little walking courier. I think Ling is maybe thinking about going for the kill, but I don't think they'll get him with only a level 1 frostbite. Oh, there's a third hero coming. It's the Fissure. Fissure, this could do it. He's going to be running right to the rune spot. Really nice decision making from MP here, but the chase is on. He's a pretty fast hero. Leshrac, I think, is about 350. Nice disruption. That's going to give him... Are they going to turn around? No. They're not going to be able to get this kill. Maybe. Look at that damage from Soulcatcher. He's getting low. Oh, he wants it. MP takes it, but that could get him killed. Great stun from Jerax as he shifts over, and that will be Ben going down.
That's a dead Leshrac, though.
The smoke from Jerax. Wow. That was so sick.
Oh, my.
Absolutely worth flying him from Europe to Korea for that move right there. That was so good. What greedy play from MP, but they pulled it off just barely. The missiles came out.
I even saw the Tinker. He leveled up the missiles, and it's like, crap, he just leveled up missiles, and he's not getting the kill. This is not good for him, but...
neutral. Okay, he denied on purpose. Very normal. It's faster to just buy your items, kill yourself on the neutral creep. You teleport. Especially, you're going to respawn within 12 seconds or something. It would have taken you much longer than that to walk back to base. So
Yamete is now in a bad position. He's leveled up heat-seeking missiles. He doesn't have any match points to farm with, and he did not get the kill, which he was banking on when he shot them out.
Yeah, that was a little rough. He can go for another 4 levels of March now. I feel like the 2-2 build is a good hybrid between the farming and the killing. It definitely makes Leshrac have to be careful. They could have maybe timed that gank slightly better, but I think it was very well executed by G-Guard. Just that MP reacted perfectly. He immediately looked where everybody was, and he's like, this is the one nuke that hasn't come out yet. Ran to the right. That was just good.
It should have waited on the CM. Like, the CM was not in range for the Frostbite, which I think is the main mistake that happened there. But
a little bit of a nuke on... God, that looks cool. All right, I take it all back. I'm so happy he's using it. That was...
Is that the main thing that had a new animation, or is
I think that's what it looks like. I haven't played with it yet, but that was the only icon that looked different to me, so I think that's the only change.
Well, Ben's going to get caught out here, and he has a disruption available. Ben's going to turn in Fissure.
Oh, good Fissure block.
Nice, gets the full block off. They're going to try... Can't really chase him around. 4-Ev, I imagine, no points in Frost Arrows? What's he
had 1-8.
Okay, it's going for 2.
That's way more than we normally see after
normally we see 1 or none, and like stats aura kind of thing, maybe a point in Gus, but...
I kind of like his build a bit better, though. CM and Undyne as a duo. Yeah, it's a very good early game combo, honestly, because you get 2 nukes out of CM, even with a couple skill points. So, I do like the build out of Frev. I kind of wish that more Draw Rangers would go for more Frostbite. I feel like the skill has a lot of potential sometimes, but it's just never skilled. And they do it because they're like, oh, I want as much damage as possible for my team, but I think it's a little too heavy investment, and a lot of times the Drow will just completely do nothing there. Jerax in trouble, gets Frostbite. There should be a Nova as well, and the
Yamete doesn't want to run into the Leshrac stun. He's going to throw missiles. Doesn't get the kill, though.
Paying off. Well, they would have secured it.
Yeah.
And I think that's all right. It's relieving a lot of pressure. If he only had 1 laser and 1 missile, they could have just dived him, and Assuming no other heroes were there.
I think he mostly just wants those kills so he can get the Boots of Travel as early as possible, because Yamate not having... He's on par with for CS, but would like to be having a better start in mid. It seems like this drafting game is all about the Tinker.
Yeah, I really like Keen's warding. I think that's one of his biggest strengths as a player. Like we saw in the last game, there's a lot of really good wards, and that's a place, the one each place is very uncommon. Frostbite should guarantee this kill. They're just waiting for the Surge to come out, and it was a little bit too late for him. There's no way he would have been able to live there. Yeah, there's Surges, and the Frostbite catches him. Looking for a stun. It's going to barely miss on Yamate. Is he going to go for it? He's almost out of mana, but that level 1 value point scores the kill, and that should be his death. Yep, a little bit too much March, but definitely worth it against the enemy's mid-hero. In most cases, especially if you bought out, that's really what it comes down to.
Worth it, but not as big a victory as like the normal kill would be. Like, I guess both heroes on the sideline. Tinker's going to respawn earlier, but yeah, for sure worth it.
Yeah, a little bit more experience for him. If he did land that stun, it was a very easy kill, so it's going to be okay. But I really like Keen's warding. The ward that he put between the tier 1 and the tier 2 should give them a better chance of getting the kill. Nobody ever dewards that spot. I feel like everyone goes for the high cliff ward, the greedy one.
Oh yeah. Especially
this early in the game, most supports aren't like ready to spend the sentry money. So, and yeah, he's actually going for a lot of missile here. Do you think he? No, it's way too early to call like his after items, but you know, it's this next game. He gets slowed there. That was a really nice slow, but the stun's not going to land. That was a good gank. It was just not quite close enough.
They really want to try and punish this Tinker mid, who's farming alright. He's kind of looks like the two main carries for both teams up there. Outside of the Dro, who's maybe a couple hundred net worth ahead. And Dro's had a pretty easy time. And this tier 1 tower bottom lane probably going to get pressured soon. Actually went for the Ring of Aquila and everything on the Dro Ranger. We've seen less of the Battering and Ring of Aquila, but for pushing, this is going to work out fantastic.
Yeah, and it's a Wraith Band as well, and the Agility Tree is also giving his team a bit more damage. He's getting something like 30 damage to his team right now, and that's a very, very easy tower. He gets the last hit, so good for Forev, and he can continue solo pressuring this as well. I feel like he's not very much in danger this game. They don't have a whole lot of reach at the moment on G-Guard. Obviously, if the Bristle comes to lane or the CM wraps around, they could get a kill, but I feel like he can definitely solo pressure a lot, maybe.
Until the Boots of Travel and Tinker, I think, because that's where a Fissure or even just a CM into a Tinker TP could be his death, and even just Tinker TPs in and spams him out of the lane with missiles. He may just have to jungle more at that point.
They're going to go for another Darkseer kill. Darkseer level 5, actually. He's backing up to Iron Shell's creep.
Yeah, I'd say he's Iron Shelling the creep and running forward, though, is the problem.
Yeah, he is following it. They do have a lane ward down there, so he looks pretty dead to me.
Yeah.
Especially with Nova Frostbite and a Fissure. Here comes the kill. Right click, there's the Frostbite and the Fissure block. Very, very easy kill at that point. Once they get behind him, no chance that he survives that unless they completely somehow whiff their skills.
Yeah. Nice little gank. Probably didn't even need the Fissure at that point, but hey, may as well. And mid lane is being pressured by MVP. It looks like G-Guard just going to let it take a bit of damage for now, but they are rotating in their supports towards the mid lane.
Doesn't have any Edict yet. That would make it go away a little bit faster.
4 heroes making their way here.
Shadow Poison to Scout. Is that going to block?
Oh,
that looks good.
But the problem is the support's on the other side, so Yamate, okay, he's going to get the kill.
Got blown up.
That
as well, really low.
Just 3 points.
Does he have rearm? They're really trying to get this guy.
Fissure soon. Yep, he gets the bottle charges.
Good disruption. He's got to guess which way. He doesn't have the vision. Which one will he guess?
Nice.
Gets him. Nice Fissure there.
And they killed off the Darkseer again. What? Bristle just killed Darkseer? Top lane? What happened there? Solo kill, I guess, because all the supports came in mid. Pure solo kill.
I don't know how that happened. He doesn't even have viscous nasal goo. Did he go for a kill or something? I can't imagine how that would happen, assuming he was solo. That's very confusing.
Okay.
That can't happen if you're playing Darkseer versus a Bristleback. I mean, maybe he's tilted because he just got ganked, but he was not going to kill that Bristleback. He's got a Vanguard. That's a huge HP pool for the early game, and any right clicks that Darkseer is putting out, we're going to get heavily reduced. So that absolutely can't happen at this stage of the game. Definitely a weakness there for MVP HOT6.
Yeah, Darkseer, it's like you say, maybe just on tilt at this point, because he is really far behind his team. One of his own supports is well ahead of him as far as farm goes in the left track, and now they're trying to use, well, not even so much use the Darkseer as bait. They're actually going for a gank here with a surge forward, but this is not an easy kill on the...
I don't like that surge though. I think they should have saved it until they saw somebody.
And now it's Leshrac who finds Bristleback. They won't even get the disruption off. Maybe with the slow.
Okay, disruption.
They're going to try and fight this here. TP in from the Earthshaker. You cannot fight around the Fissure. And Bristleback going to give chase, but...
That could have been organized a bit better, I think. The Darkseer should have moved for them. I mean, if they're going to commit a smoke to it, they might as well go for a kill. Obviously, if they find a Bristle, there's... You know, once they disrupted Bristle, they knew they weren't going to kill him. He's got too much HP.
And especially when they're close to towers, because Bristle with Vanguard Treads Wand is just... Yeah, he's unkillable. He's even not gone... Okay, he gets a point in Goon now, but has 3 points in the passive.
Look at the missile harass. It's actually... He doesn't have rearm yet, but he's getting a lot of value out of it. And he did get his BOTs pretty rapidly here. But just with a missile, it puts the supports from full HP down to about 70%. That's a pretty dangerous place, because if a core can initiate on you, land a stun or whatever they have, that could very easily be a kill. And you do not want to feed those kinds of kills to supports. This is a dead forever here. Getting completely swung around here. Great gust, actually. Is this going to buy him the life? No,
Didn't
the frostbite. It looked like it did, but it must not have, because they were a little bit too spread there. So.
And level 1 gust, I don't think long enough to TP during?
It's 3 seconds, so it can. I think a TP is just like 2.75 or something. Just in time. It does not say on the tooltip for some reason.
Okay.
And that should be a dead tower here.
Yep.
So.
Leshrac getting more and more farm going his way, but he's not had the best start after that death recently, and Tinker seems to be the one kind of, well, not even taking over yet, but in a position to take over with Boots of Travel, Soul Ring, Yama taking TP from lane to lane, has rearm now, and start becoming a menace.
So he's looking to swing around, kill Winter. I don't know about this. This is a very tough kill. Tranquil Boots is going to help a bit versus, well, he doesn't have Edict, I guess, but yeah, no problem at all. Could always just drop the Tombstone and ran. And they're pressuring the bot lane, so G-Guard being a lot more aggressive than the previous game. Just goes to show that they have better heroes, I think.
Yeah, I like this draft a lot better from G-Guard. And we're always seeing them make use of it. I think MVP HOT6 at the same time, I almost preferred their draft this game, but a few mistakes here and there have led to some problems for them. See, I'm going to get found by Heen here, but Heen, frostbitten up, takes a fissure, and one more right click will not get the self-disrupt off. Even if he did, probably would end up going down there.
Yeah, he was just trying to buy time for his allies to get there, because he knew if he disrupted, she could just TP or escape. If he got more poison stacks, it does CM, not get fissured, and then a couple more poisons he had been
This is where Darkseer really struggles. He can't even lane against Tinker because of the amount of damage from those missiles. He just gets zoned out. And without much good HP regen, he's kind of struggling up there. G-Guard, though, look, farm-wise, it's still a lot of green towards the top of the net worth chart. After the Bristleback, there's both, one of the supports as well as the Darkseer up there. So MVP HOT6 still farming very efficiently despite the kills they've been giving up. Ling goes in on mid on Jerax. There's a fissure, but not really good follow-up there. You really need someone like a Tinker to TP in to get that kill.
Didn't really like that ultimate there. I guess it did scare his opponents very heavily. He's going to steal some stacks here. Don't know if he gets spotted, though. That's actually their Radiant Ward, so he should be able to see the supports before they see him. Look at their ward vision. It's really good right now.
Yeah.
I love the ward between the tier 1 and the tier 2 on the top lane. Nobody ever de-wards there. And it has a little bit of sliver of vision, quite possibly, through the trees as well. It looks really nice. Very unpredictable wards. The one in the jungle is known pretty commonly, but pretty rare to de-ward. See, they even have a sentry. They have 2 sentry wards down, expecting where these wards are going to be, but they don't got it. The other one's by where the tier 1 is, I think. Yeah, look at that.
The same last game where their warding just really gave him a huge advantage. Farouk going to get caught out here. Has Mask of Madness, but he's going to go for the TP.
That's safe. Could have maybe gone for the Echo there, but that was... I think he probably should have, actually. I think he could have been able to stun him, because he wasn't getting attacked. If he was going to commit, he would have attacked. Should have opted for the Echo Slam, maybe, but he didn't know how long the TP was going to be. I think it was worth a try. But that's like a chance you play. I don't blame it at all.
Yeah, at this stage, an Echo Slam cooldown isn't the biggest deal. He's coming from behind with an Invis, though, in a perfect position. Gets an Echo Slam on 2. They're fighting under the Tombstone, but Ben will be brought down quickly, and Net on the same line to get Laguna then brought down. Only 1 kill on the Leshrac so far for G-Guard. They're trying to rearm those missiles and try to catch up to 4 Heen. They're all so low, but they need vision for the Tinker, and Tinker not finding it. Only 1 kill going their way, and they lost Bristleback of all heroes, who was their most farmed hero before that.
I think he had his face or his side towards the Lina, so he took a bunch of damage from the Laguna Blade. Out of 11 recorded games, Tinker only has 1 win. Wow. Dang. And that was the Not Today versus the 5 Then match, which didn't mean anything. So that was not the best example of a Tinker game, but that's amazing. 10 out of basically 10 games, that meant something. To my assumption.
Very hard hero to make work. I feel like you really have to draft around him when you're playing him.
How do you draft around him? What would you say?
You want to go... To me, Tinker's a hero you want to go late game. That's one of the big things here.
Okay.
But this is a patch where it's very early game centric, so... You want to draft heroes that can, I guess, stall, buy time. To me, it's like a Vault Protect 1, where your Tinker's off doing his own thing, and you don't want to have the Tinker TP in order to take a fight, which seems to be maybe the case with this game, where Earthshaker's not really looking like a core hero. If your only way of fighting is with the Tinker, I think that's a problem, because Tinker's just so vulnerable in general and easy to pick off.
Ooh, they didn't spot the Tinker. I'm a bit surprised. Drow has pretty good night vision. They actually didn't see him. But they also sneak by and go for the Roche. One hero does break smoke in the river, so he can't really go in the Roche pit now. They may still, though.
If they saw him and broke smoke, then maybe they'll kind of realize what's up. They're pinging it out. Yeah. They're running in, and we'll check this out.
Once somebody breaks like that, you have to assume that they're going for Roche. Yeah. They put the ward on the high ground. That should allow them to de-ward. And Ling will be able to get it just barely. So there's been a lot of sneaky Roches going on this tournament, actually. I mean, it is TI, I guess, but a lot of teams will be... They'll just smoke and go for it, just for the small advantage. And MVP's not in a terrible place. Or Sunbeam might be in trouble here. Missile, maybe a laser as well. He does go down. Another death for him. Heen looking to chase. Nothing he can do to save.
Okay, so Tinker keeping up. Has a Blink Dagger already. There's a lot of farm on Yamate's Tinker.
He's got 4 kills. That's the big one.
Yeah. Has level 11 as well, so he's finding tons of experience this game, and a great hero for preventing Roches as well. Like, at least if you know you're there, you can TP there. And you have boots of travel, but you throw down a couple marches, and suddenly your opponents can't really fight inside Roshan, especially a Dro with Mask of Madness.
Yeah, and also because there's so many cliffs that you can jump up on. You just jump up to a hill, rearm, shoot missiles, jump to the next one, and once it is actually time to party. What a fast Glimmer Cave there.
The only way I feel like they could do it is with that high ground Roche ward, but that's such an obvious ward spot because they need the vision of the cliffs from that from that spot.
That's true.
Otherwise, you're just blindly guessing with stunned like LSAs and split earths and gusts as to where Tinker is on the cliffs. Earthshaker with a Blink Dagger now. G-Guard. I mean, it was an offlane core Earthshaker, so that's just the bare minimum outside of this. But this is a potentially teamfight changing item.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. CM getting some farm. I'm sure she's happy about that one. Trickle Boots earn. Pretty common build. I would maybe like to see a wand or a magic stick on her because she does have some mana pumps cycling through all of her abilities. At least by the time she gets her ult, she definitely needs at least a stick, preferably a magic wand. But for now, she's pretty happy with what she's got. Transitioning wise, I think a Ghost Scepter would be okay. It's good against Drow. I guess Force Staff is the solution then if it's a lot of magic, especially actually because of all the chain nukes they have. You get a Force Staff that whoever gets disruption and stun, you Force Staff away and hopefully they avoid some of that.
Even just, I think maybe Glimmer Cape's the item. There's so much magic nuke damage and burst damage, like Lina, Leshrac. If someone gets disrupted, you want to try and just Glimmer them and keep them alive.
Or you can Glimmer yourself an ult, so two options there. That's a good point. But her mana pool can't afford it. I think that's the big thing. Yeah, you can't even cast. You have trouble casting all 3 of your spells sometimes. So I think if she goes Glimmer, she's going to need something else. Yeah,
that's where you need the wand or even something bigger than that.
Looks like they're going to run into the Leshrac. They're a little spread out, though. Oh, he just killed the camp as well. Did they see him? It doesn't look like they spot him.
Radiant vision.
And at this point, it becomes dangerous to go for the dive at the mid because they're probably going to TP defend, and Shadow Demon's over there. He actually spots them with the Shadow Poison. Will he disrupt? Nope.
Right, so this is probably where you want to back off. Or you want to bait for that Blink Echo Slam, but I think that's not really the case. Bristleback TP's in top. Needs to be a little on the cautious side. Looks like they're just going to go for the tier 1. Multiple TPs now coming in with a glyph. And Lina going to try Glimmer TP out. Nothing to cancel it. Nicely played by Jerax.
Yeah, I agree. That was good. Fissure again, and that could be Sunbeam's death here. Surge in 2 seconds. He needs something else. Good vacuum to push him back. And another gust. Actually, Net could be in trouble now. Look at the slow, actually.
We're going to drop the Tombstone just because they're worried about Net's life. And
the ultimate. That was big overkill, I think.
I don't even know if they're going to commit to the tier 1 tower here. It doesn't seem like the best opportunity to go for it. And Leshrac, again, split pushing mid, but getting spammed out of the lane.
So cool. I think that was okay for MVP. The last couple sequences of events. G-Guard wasted a smoke. No kills happened on the top lane.
A lot of TPs.
They got the glyph popped. Yeah, TPs as well.
And G-Guard just not really... I mean, at this point, they haven't... I mean, it's weird. Their lineup as far as late game goes, Bristleback and Tinker decent, but their supports, CM and Dying, are 2 heroes that really do fall off in the late game.
Yeah.
And that's where I see like a Shadow Demon Lina as 2 heroes that just kind of scale a bit better.
CM going on an adventure. AKA Webmaster's AP. Don't think we don't know.
You double-click the hero to follow them while
Just for that, he's like, we're going to see exactly what CM is spending her next minute on. So Arcane's Glimmer on Lina. Do you get a Yules first, or do you just go full support at this point? I'm not sure.
For the Lina?
Yeah. I mean, he got a really fast Glimmer Cape.
I think it's either Yules or Ag. And there's not really BKB carries. I guess you could use the Laguna for the Bristleback.
It's actually a really weak Ags upgrade if you're not trying to counter BKB. When you look at the numbers, I played an Alchemist once, and I was like, I'm going to give it to Lina. I gave it to Lina, it did nothing, because it really only increases your ult damage by like the magic resistance difference, which is often less than 200. So it's a pretty weak upgrade. It may just be better if you go survivability items. I really do think they need a Force Staff. Or I guess G-Guard needs a Force Staff more. Wouldn't be terrible on MVP.
Whoa, Jerax, kind of in no man's land. Didn't get hit by a fissure, but...
Space created.
G-Guard have a lot of heroes. This is... Lina was alone. You're going to go for another Glimmer TP out in the silence.
Man, that's a sentry. That's 100 gold. They drop the Tombstone. Again, Undying uses ultimate.
Jerax has just been making plays all day long.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
He's such a flashy player, like, which is so unusual for a support as well.
Yeah. And that's all he does is Glimmer TP, and he gets up. I also like that he, did he TP by the time he was invisible? I'm not sure, but the sentry came pretty late. It was either a really late sentry by G-Guard, or maybe they're like, maybe he's going to kill us.
They couldn't actually cancel the TP because of the gust as well from Drow. So.
You sure? I feel like CM didn't get hit by it. I think she had the Frostbite ready. I might have been wrong, though.
MVP maybe still trying to find an opportunity to sneak their way into Roshan, but difficult to do so since G-Guard seem well aware of it and not guarding that pit pretty actively.
I mean, I guess they're out-farming G-Guard here because they do have a lot of cores in the top 6 or whatever, but it's not like it's going to slow Tinker down at all if you have a Lina going around creating space. So I think G-Guard is maybe slightly annoyed by this, but I don't think it's really causing that much concern.
And they're playing for the late game. Tinker going for a Bloodstone. This, to me, is what the most safe and stable way of playing Tinker is. Get Bloodstone, then go for your more late game oriented play. Helps you tank up, and you actually fight better to me with like a Bloodstone than other items you can get for a similar price.
Yeah, you respawn faster too. If you make mistakes, you're good. You can always suicide if you're not stunned. That's a really good solution as well. You can stay in your killing sprees. But most importantly, just staying alive is really good, because if your opponents are trying to go high ground on you and you just spam March, then that's something they have to deal with. And I remember when Tinker was so popular, might see engagement first. When Tinker was so popular, it was always such a pain to go high ground. When you killed him, you're like, oh my god, he's finally dead, let's go for it. And Bloodstone counters that. Fred pretty much just dead, farming the enemy jungle, but very easy pick for them. I don't even think they had vision, they just kind of ran into him.
I think the Undying scouted out and then just waited for TP back up. TP out in time, just barely. Tried to run in for an Echo Slam, but...
He could have blinked on that one, I think.
I think it just came off cooldown. I think it was like just like half a second away.
Must have came off cooldown as I looked. The Bloodstone finish, Pipe done on Darkseer again. Similar item build as last game, he went Pipe after Arcanes.
It feels like HOT6 want to go for that Roshan and then high ground push with mech Pipe, but it's going to be really... Well, they haven't got a mech, just Pipe, but they haven't really got... Even with Pipe, it feels like pushing into Tinker March is going to be a big challenge. They've got no catch for the Tinker is one of the big worries.
Yeah, they need a Yules on Lina probably. I guess that for that reason alone, they should go Yules.
Yeah.
Because they can't just rely on Disruption to do it. It should force Shadow Demon to get way out of position, and then you don't have Disruption to save people. It's much better to go for aggressive item. You know, they'll probably see it on Leshrac though, more than on Lina, I assume. And yeah, it is going to be his Yules. So.
CM picked up a Blink, by the way.
Okay. I like this. What are the stuns that MVP have? They have Lesh Stun, they have Gust, they have Vacuum. There's a hell of a lot of stuns. But if he can position an ulti really well, it really helps out your team, especially on top of Tombstone. You got damage output there. It'll help slow Bristleback and chase people down.
I think in the less big picture view, it's a great item because they don't have an initiation. They don't want to be using like a Blink Earthshaker to blink. Earthshaker wants to come in the middle of a team fight, but they can have a CM blink in with a Frostbite to start a fight off, and CM's much like you're okay losing a CM to kill off a core hero if that's the case.
I actually do like the blink on her sometimes. I think it's a good option. I mean, some players will go like something like Midas into Glimmer Cape or Ags, but the Blink Dagger does let you be really aggressive. Look at that. Instantly they jump in. There's the Vacuum going to do some damage, but she's going to go down. I believe, yes it is. There's Echo Slam as well, but the damage output, I don't think they checked for the Pipe there. That's what happened, because all of their damage was magic there.
They also didn't burst down the Darkseer. The Darkseer canceled the CM ulti using Vacuum. Now they're going to chase on, try to bring down Winter, who pops his wand, heals up a bit, fighting out of the match, not too pleasant.
Oh, they get the stun on Yamate.
And 4F TP out, does not make it. It's the Decay from Undying who finishes them off. Meanwhile, Tinker brings down Darkseer. They salvage the fight, but that started off terribly wrong. I think they missed the chain stun like with the Earthshaker because the wall vacuum cancelled the CM ulti. They were hoping they could like burst down Darkseid before he piped, before he vacuumed, and they got like 2 seconds of CM ulti off.
Yeah. Then that's
also, Tinker didn't TP in for some extra damage.
That's true. But that is a nice thing about Blink, is I mean, that gank was executed poorly, or maybe it wasn't the right time to go. But
yeah.
if you can start a gank off and you just know that instantly you're going to be able to throw out your damage and cast your ultimate, whereas in a normal gank, you walk in, you Nova, you walk a bit more, then you Frostbite, and then you ultimate, and it's only about halfway there. I saw a graph on Reddit, I don't know if you saw it, but it showed that the DPS for CM was a lot higher when you're closer to CM, so the Blink can certainly give you a lot more offensive capabilities, and even in a late game, you know, if Blink comes off cooldown, you can stay alive a lot of times. It might be able to find Heen here.
He did not scout this rotation out. No, he did not. He's going to get fissured.
Every single fight here if you can.
Nice decision from Giga. They started on Roshan but backed off.
Jarek's again doing shit.
Glimmer caping and avoiding them, and Roshan got down a little bit, but it doesn't look like MVP HOT6 want to make that move towards the pit.
The Shadow Demon's in there. He's going to get
suicide
spotted.
warding.
He did get Nova'd inside the Roche pit.
Yeah. He just wanted to get that ward down, but that is not a smart move. Yeah. Also very obvious the ward was planted.
Blink on CM paying off there. Got to initiate a little bit faster.
And there we go, they'll de-ward and bring down Roshan, I think, with the double march and whatever. Destroy march is very hard to contest.
Somebody going for the high ground vacuum, and he does it. Nobody gets hit. Really nice play by G-Guard spotting out. There's a BKB, and Net is so fast and diving. There comes the fissure. Fred gets blown up in 3 hits. Can't even get stopped. Sunby running away at max speed, and not what MVP wanted there. Sunby watching too many highlight videos, and G-Guard reacted to it really perfectly. We've seen a lot of vacuums in that exact same position just win team fights, but it didn't happen there.
Nah, great scouting, and G-Guard secure Net and Aegis. Tinker now going to build towards the Dagon. Suddenly, G-Guard in prime position to draw this series.
I thought it was looking like an MVP advantage in the early game, but
yeah,
G-Guard's been farming really well. They've been playing really well. And despite Earthshaker having pretty low farm potential, he's always there at the important times with TPing heroes and things like that.
Even draft-wise, I liked MVP's draft, but just the individual play and execution has been a lot better from the Dire side.
I don't think he's going to get this kill here, and now he's just completely dead.
Sunby, please. He is on tilt this game. From the laning stage to what just happened in the last minute or so, this has not been a good game from Daxia.
He was definitely not going to get the kill. Yules comes from Jarek's, and is he going to transition to a core? He is going to. That's a blown up Earthshaker.
Okay. And they've got to transition Jarek's to a core. He's the main catch for a Tinker. I feel like even getting a Blink Dagger to go with the Yules Scepter, maybe a course of action here.
It's a little scary against Tombstone and Bristleback, I would say. Even CM has pretty good DOTs.
You go to the item that some carry leaders went, which is the Shadow Blade, but
I think he's a little too underfarmed for that. I think it's time to get the Dags. It'll be decent against Bristleback. At some point, someone's going to get a Glimmer Cape on G-Guard, and that'll put on the Tinker if he gets in trouble. Pure damage will be good for that as well, so might as well transition. And the HP is going to be really, really useful as well.
Big swing downwards as G-Guard pull ahead.
A couple of core kills.
Net worth. Yeah. And we'll see Bristleback holding on to 3,000 gold, so money is starting to pile up, especially for G-Guard's cause. They've got an interesting farm distribution, very top-heavy, and the supports and offlane are not finding too much, as opposed to MVP, where Lina as well as the offlane Darkseid have a lot more than what we're seeing on G-Guard.
So more passive farm. As MVP Goran ganking. I feel like this is kind of the trap that Drow puts you in a lot of times. I think Frev's a really good player, and he's not really able to do anything on the Drow. He does have his skill points, so he has more. He can do more than the typical Drow does, but I feel like they just have to play really passively. He has been farming. He's 2-4-0. It does give you the damage advantage, but is he going to get...
Ooh, Earthshaker was near. I was just about to say, Earthshaker on that mini-map was approaching very closely.
Good thing he piped before he TP'd. That would have been very much a death. They're going to find Jax, actually. He's possibly... Where's his TP? Oh, it's March of the Tinker TPing on a zombie. Gets killed, though. And for once, Glimmer Cape is not the GG Cape.
Yeah. Good control now. Leshrac at mid lane, gonna throw a split earth here. No BKB used from Bristleback. Probably doesn't feel he needs to right now.
Might need to now.
Up and maybe throw the, he wants to save it for the respawn, I guess.
Teammates are coming. That's CM on the high ground. Undying coming as well. Doesn't have a tombstone and
so wasted ages.
Walking away. I mean,
not a big deal, I don't think. But
I think it was about halfway through. I think they're far enough ahead. They don't need it to siege buildings. And all right, that was fresh. That was a fresh one. But
I don't think it's a big deal. It's not going to necessarily. It may prevent them from sieging a tier 2 tower.
Yeah. And if anything, the Bristleback dying there allowed for Lina to be soloed by 3 heroes with no backup. So might be able to go in. They're initiating. Frostbite on top of Heen. He's going to have to disrupt himself. Goes on somebody else instead. Great vacuum. Heen will fall, and Ling is well getting picked up very easily. Great dunk. Kind of a one hero on that. MP does get picked off here. So MVP falling slowly by slowly. 2 dead heroes in exchange for CM and a lot of big ultimates. Yamete getting caught.
Whoa.
There's the first suicide.
That was a bad blink from him. He blinked into a terrible position.
Yeah. The Frost Arrow was paying off there.
Still a very quick respawn from him. It's a mistake, but not one which is going to hurt him right now, but could in the future if he's getting caught out and suddenly has fewer Bloodstone charges, has the suicide on cooldown.
It'll never be on cooldown because the rearm cools it down.
Oh, right. Correct.
That shit's OP. I think that shit's changed, honestly. Alright, there's Jarek's a little bit out of position. Does get the kill on the Earthshaker. That's the offlane hero, but he has much more net worth than them. I don't know if that's worth it. Tinker getting another kill there. There's the Gust back, and Net is so fast here. He wants to kill. Frev's got to put the arrows into him occasionally. If he didn't have those levels and arrows, this Bristle could just win the game.
Exactly. You want reason to max arrows right there. Dealing with Bristleback.
He is so fast. That was incredible. He must have had a bunch of Warpath stacks up there. Dagon something. Looks like a lot of Dagon. On the Tinker. Yeah, I think he has at least 4 here. Sunby learning his lesson. He's like, Tinker is scary. Do I really want to stay around? He does. What does he buy next up? Blink Dagger, maybe?
Darkseer, I think so.
If he gets a good vacuum wall, he could very easily win their team's fight. Like if he catches CM and Tinker or something like that, there's all this chaos. There's lots of magic damage they can't blink away. If they can get follow-up after that, it would be really good. And they could always do vacuum into Gust or something like that. That would win a team fight for sure. A lot of those heroes need to cast their spells to be useful. CM.
This Leshrac is kind of surrounded. Actually, no, CM going to head back towards mid.
Shiva's guard on Bristle. Pretty good. You know what? He's already really fast. It does allow him to chase. That part's pretty cool. With the Shivas, I bet if he procs the Shivas, like if he uses it and he catches the Drow, he can still kill her despite getting gusted, I would say. But not that he can't just BKB. There's Frostbite going in on Heen. Gets him out of position. Great Gust, actually. That should be CM dying slowly but surely. Tombstone down as well. 1 for 1. Not too bad at all for MVP there.
Yeah, now they can focus on the tomb if they want to with the Drow. But Drow instead's going for Winter. Gets low, but now 4 in trouble.
Oh, man,
gets dunked. Sunby, vacuum, wall, follow-up, and he gets a turnaround. Gets 2, make it 3. As Lina gets a kill with the Laguna Blade, and MVP repel G-Guard from their base.
There was a buyback on Drow here, maybe a bit unnecessary, but they're team fighting really well, actually. I mean, the initiation on the Shadow Demon, I thought, okay, this is really bad for them, but he, Frev actually making the right play and picking off the Crystal Maiden. That was really nicely done. And with the buyback, they're actually going to get something out of it. They should be able to get a tier 2 here. So despite getting the buyback there on Frev, which does kind of chance their late game a little bit, MP gets a lot of gold out of the team fight, and they're able to take a tier 2 as well to make it a bit better. And they're going to kill him really fast.
Tinker going to get caught out. That's the Glimmer Cape initiation. Yamete insta-suicide. Again, it's Jerax. He Glimmer Capes in with a Yule Scepter, catches out Tinker, and
he was so ready for that. Everybody's just looking at the tower getting hit. Oh yeah, the tower's dead. But Jerax is ready. It cost him a bit of mana there, but that's another suicide.
That's got no buyback too. That's 15 seconds without Tinker. Oh, Bristle. Looks like a
they need a tier 3. Tomb is down, but that'll die in 4 hits.
Do they push on? Doesn't look wise.
Frostbite.
They're going to try to catch him on the retreat here, but the Surge out, Jerax, also Glimmer, and...
Man, if we get a stat on the how many times he's activated Glimmer Cape per game, I feel like it's 4 times higher than every other Glimmer Cape holder.
He's spamming that so much. Even just watching him like walk around the map, he's just using it for practice, it feels like.
It's definitely very smart. He's finding a lot of kills. So how many Bloodstone charges did Tinker lose there? That was at least like 6 or more. That, like,
8.
so many big kills on him. Really limits his mana pool. That means less Dagons per team fight. And in a late game situation, that could be the difference between a hero dying or not, definitely. So MP BKB is on the way, I believe. Ben has a Force Staff as well now. If somebody else comes out, oh there, okay, it's Tinker, of course. Creep Wave gets killed. He could rearm, come to the catapult, and go for the kill. Potentially, do they get the fissure? No. Ooh. I think they should have gone on that. He didn't have
maybe
BKB
hold his
yet.
invis, but yeah.
I don't know if they had vision. I assume they did because the catapult was still attacking him, but not quite sure.
G-Guard now sitting up in the bottom lane. They want to go for a tier 2 tower, it feels like. Diving part, I mean, they also overextended pretty badly that last fight.
Yeah, they did. And that gave MVP a nice catch-up here.
They're kiting the Bristleback so well in these fights. Like, the Bristleback runs in with a BKB. It looks kind of scary, but doesn't really do enough damage to anyone.
Mm-hmm. God, that looks cool. So cool.
Are you excited to play Leshrac then?
He used to be my favorite hero at some point in Dota 1.
Okay.
Usually when they get popular, I'm like, never again. I'm like that.
Ooh, trying to catch out the Tinker once more. He's upgraded his Dagon again. I think it's a Dagon 5 now.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Once he gets an E-Blade, he's going to start one-shotting people.
Yep. Dagon 5, and...
I don't even think Cloak will be the solution on those supports. It's more Blink is probably better at this point since you can dodge E-Blade.
You want to jump the Tinker before he kind of
Oh, his face is to him. Are they going to go for this? The stun lands as well. I think Jerax just needs to ulti it, but Net turns around and gets silenced. There's the Glimmer Cape as well. I think they could have killed him, honestly.
Chase, yeah. I'm not sure about this. Ling looking for a Frostbite, but Blink's North instead will catch out Heen, and that's a...
Neutral. He's got Gem as well. If he goes down, he does go down. Gem on the ground. And Net's on the chase, and that should be a Gem going to the enemy team. Yamata Godlike, despite dying, what, 4 times or 3 times recently? All suicides. None of it counts. Did you actually find that stat? Is that's possible?
Okay.
I can't even believe this right now.
9.3 times per game.
Oh, on average use per... Well, I'm sure he's hit his quota this game.
Yeah.
Easily, because he got that item so fast here.
I've seen a good 15 to 20 this game.
He's playing so well. He's got 3,500 gold now on all support. That's great. And he's got BKB.
And that's where I feel like MVP HOT6 is still in a good position. They've got 4 core heroes against what looks like a dual core for G-Guard. Earthshaker, yeah, he's got a Blink Dagger, but that's kind of the extent of it, it feels like.
So spotting out for Roshan, the illusion will be killed. I don't really see MVP going for a Ninja Roche, honestly. I think it's a little too dangerous here.
Against, yeah, Earthshaker, Tinker, I feel like they'd rather find a team fight or a pick-off first and go from there.
Saw some pretty painful Echo Slams in the Roche pit earlier tonight. Invasion versus Rave, that one was insane. That's not how you want to lose a team fight. Echo Slam on 5 people into the chain stun. It's no good.
It's one of those things where it's like there's not really an excuse. You can't even say, oh, the Earthshaker just outplayed us. It's like, no. There's no excuse apart from we just did something really bad when you get 5-hero echoed in the Roche pit.
The Glimmer Cape. Just likes being fabulous as much as possible. He bought something. Spent about... I think it's going to be the Axe components. I believe it's only on the Courier. Yeah. Courier just flying back. Yeah, there
almost has it.
Yep, he has become a core. He's maybe a little bit behind what a core Lina would be at, but for support, he's doing fantastic. He's got almost as much farm as the Darkseer. And that's mostly roaming. He doesn't have that many CS. Oh, I'm sorry, it's finished. Excuse me.
131.
Okay.
A lot of jungle farm, I guess, and pushing out lanes from time to time.
And he did just hit level 16. He is, what, 6 damage short of one-shotting the Crystal Maiden. It's pretty good. I believe it's around there. It's like 980. 950. Damn it. Way off. One right click, one ult. He does get picked off here. Frostbite on him.
Tinker shows up just for the Bloodstone charges. Easy.
He's happy with that.
up to 10 now. So
he's got his upgraded boots now, so now he can TP on top of heroes. So this allows G-Guard to be a lot more aggressive in their movements, but they don't really have any other ganking heroes. Other maybe CM, you could argue with CM and Earthshaker. They do seem to be moving around ganking, but with CM can TP on top, or sorry, Tinker can TP on top of that.
The Bristle Undying just don't seem as gank oriented. They need to kind of transition more to, I guess, late game team fighting. Maybe you can see towards like Undying trying to build like a Acceptor or something.
That's a dead hero. I mean, unit. Aegis on Bristle, and the rest of G-Guard retreating.
The pushing, though, is very difficult. Bristleback just gets kited. I feel like they could easily just bring down his Aegis and then fight him a second time, or at least force G-Guard to retreat.
And I feel like they're okay being a little passive. Like we said, they don't have the best ganking heroes, but Tinker can blow people up a lot. But the same goes for MVP, actually, because Lena has Glimmer Cape and an Axe now. She can definitely solo kill a couple of people. She can kill Earthshaker, potentially Tinker by herself, and maybe definitely CM as well.
I think that the Tinker's quite tanky with the Bloodstone. He's got, I guess 2.1 KHP.
Anyone else, though?
Yeah.
Well, other than the Bristle, so that's 3 heroes. Pretty good options for a support hero, and a lot of movement bottom, actually. They're going to be able to grab MP, good dunk, get some good damage out, but man, that Bristle hits so hard.
I like the Echo Slam too. That's such a key hero to bring down, and we haven't really seen any opportunities for a grouped up team fight Echo Slam. So
I don't know if he had BKB there, but if he did, absolutely crucial that he did have BKB. He had to Echo Slam there. It's the instant cast. Trying to catch the Tinker. Can they grab him? There's the vacuum. It doesn't get him. More Martin Machines.
If he can find Jarex with a blink in, blinks actually towards Sunby instead.
Oh, there's Eels. This could be the turn. Dragon Slave. No, he's got way too much HP, but the blink, and they're going to be able to do the chainsaw on Jarex. Jarex goes down, stays a bit too long.
They may change Shadow Demon now, force defensive disruption. He's dead, and Darkseid has to run the hell out of here. Chase is on, Frostbite available. No.
Ooh, very close. So Force Staff next on CM, more mobility items. I do like her being played this way. Oh, MP thinking it's going to be safe. Tinker comes in, about half HP, but Drow's actually doing a lot of damage here. Yamata again, suicides, vacuum wall, but not catching anybody there. Now chasing after net, and the slow comes, and that is going to be the slowest chase ever, but that's going to be a kill, keeping him away from MP. Man, why don't people get more drow arrows? Seriously, they look so good here.
Amazing against Bristleback. Can they kill the second time? They can kite him for days.
MP's sticking around. He's got good HP regen because of Bloodstone. Oh, great Solar Crest going to give him some HP. There's the Surge from Sunday, but that should be his death. Still chasing Frev in melee range, and there's the Shivas. He's not going to be able to get away, and now he's committed. They overstayed their welcome. The first kill was great, but the second one didn't happen.
Just forced up to the high ground to try to bring down Lesh, but fed instead. Oh dear, that could have been a huge kill if they killed off Lesh, but now they're on the run, walking through the wall of replicas and just trying to use a fissure to cover their retreat. This Leshrac, there's some serious testosterone going here. Just wants to keep on fighting despite having no HP. But with Yamata back, I think that should be the end of the chase from MVP.
There it is. Tinker never once dead, killed by an opponent. Hasn't happened, guys. Just 4 suicides. Totally normal.
I mean, the hero is one game out of 11 on this patch. I'm okay with that.
It just feels so wrong.
It does feel a little wrong.
But yeah, the win rate is not good, so.
Definitely one of the heroes that got brutally nerfed going back a couple of patches when he was. It was funny because it was a very pub-oriented nerf, because at that time he was picked a bit in pro play, but he was never. I think it was just like around a 50% win rate, and
I feel
more annoying than
he was the bane of pubs, though.
Yes,
like there's
I hated that hero.
There's a point where you do actually have to nerf for pubs because otherwise you kill your player base, which is basically what happened with like Troll, Jug Sniper kind of a thing.
Well, when everyone was complaining about those 2 heroes, I was like, I'd rather this than the Tinker days.
Yeah, a lot
Tinker
of people said that as well,
was just miserable for me.
But I definitely didn't enjoy the Sniper too much. He was very, very good.
Yeah.
Jarex again looking for solo kill, waiting up for the Tinker, throws the ulti down, that's half the HP, and then he realizes people are there. CM Nova, good stun. This should be a dead. Is this it? Is he going to suicide? He forgets finally. Godlike Streak goes into Leshrac. Maybe going to grab a... Oh, big dunk puts him down to half HP. Glimmer Cape protecting him from a lot of damage, but there's the BKB. Now turning, gets blown up. What the heck killed him?
CM ulti. The Earthshaker got credited the kill. Maybe a big totem?
Okay, yeah, it must have been. It looked like physical damage. Yeah. Because he just got blown up. Oh, I bet it was Undying ulti and melee range with the totem.
Yep.
For the amp damage. I assume that goes through BKB. I'm not completely sure, though. But that was a big nuke. I thought he was going to be able to turn that and possibly get 3 kills, but he just died there. So
did get the important kill on the Tinker.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure he got gold out of that
Yeah.
easily. And again, keeping the Bloodstone charges low on Tinker goes a long way.
Tinker doesn't have to use his buyback or anything.
Sold his Vanguard. I
Bristol
don't know. I guess he's going for the MKB to guarantee that he's good against Butterfly, but I thought for sure it'd be Abyssal. I feel like Abyssal is just so good on Abyssal.
I'm surprised by this, just for the one. I mean, the Dro's a big hero, but he's often the one fighting the Dro.
Sunbee gonna get caught again, I guess. Ooh, almost. Oh, the blink forward. Look at that mobility. It's so useful. Ern uses well vacuum to keep people on the high ground. Tinker comes in. Bit of damage, but the pipe reflecting a lot of it, or at least protecting against it.
Earthshaker wasn't in range for any stuns. They're gonna get back to defend.
Rev wants to take the melee barracks. Pops BKB.
Oh wow, he's going for it. No, he's going to be.
He'll be okay.
They did lose the rain tracks at some point.
Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe it was creeps or something, because I don't think it was a hero. Maybe Frev has been doing that for a while, running up mid and pushing.
Yeah, happened some time ago, it looks like.
Soul Booster up on Leshrac. That will surely be an Octarine core. Gives him some lifesteal.
And you see G-Guard run into the Lesh, and this is where you'd love an Abyssal Blade. Yeah, you can stun with MKB, but it's not the insta-stun of an Abyssal Blade that guarantees a TP cancel.
I really do like the blink on CM, though. I think that's the only way to play the hero. You need to counter the mobility that she lacks.
Yep, it's been super high impact with the pick-off potential from it.
And the cooldown of Frostbite is so low. It's 6 seconds right now.
And speaking of blink, there we go. Chain stun to follow, and
wow.
This CM Earthshaker with there just pair of blinks as being the big playmakers for G-God.
That was so good. It looked like he didn't even have a pipe, the amount of damage that he took, or that he took from the CM ult. That was really strong.
Maybe CM farms an Ags this game, who knows?
She might as well transition to it. Honestly, more HP pool is nothing to be afraid of here. It's very good against magic nuke heavy heroes because HP scales. You don't have to get armor. I mean, obviously magic resistance works, but HP is pretty much just as good. It won't be very good against Drought, but the rest of the heroes on MVP and Eggs would be perfect on CM.
Generic Zimbas, they want to go for this melee racks again. A lot of match here. 4 heroes are here. G-God have to get back and defend.
And they're doing this without Darkseer, actually. A little surprised.
And G-God not in a position to punish it.
The team is, both teams are moving very fast.
Oh, they see trying to de-ward, but that was a setup here as Link gets brought down. They know the ward's there now, but, well, they knew anyways.
They don't see the sentry. Almost catching him with a gust. Ooh.
Very close.
MP can read that stuff. He's the Tinker player, so I'm sure he knows a lot of good spots.
Yep.
Almost Butterfly here on Draw Ranger, and that'll help him a lot versus zombies, Bristleback especially. He's got his MKB ready though. At some point, do you sell your BKB on Bristle, or do you just have to keep it the whole time?
I think you need it because against Frost Arrows, against Leshrac and Lena stuns.
I guess it does work on Frost Arrows. I mean, Draw could still get a late Scotty though. It's not a terrible item to have on the hero. It's a bit of a waste if you have skill points and Frost Arrows, but if you're max level, it's a good item. It's essentially like more agility. You can Frost Arrow and then Scotty and get the double stun or the slow stack, and then you can slow him through BKB. I guess he doesn't need Abyssal, but it just seems so good on Bristleback. He instead went for the double armor item. Maybe that's what we could criticize, that he first went for the Shivas that got AC afterwards, and I was bit out item slots. But the same thing, he's very, very survivable against the physical damage. He really just won't die to Drow.
I think Shivas was the one item I thought where it's like it's not really as carry-oriented as he needed to go, because Tinker alone isn't going to cut it. Maybe an AC instead would have. Maybe if you wanted the armor as well as some DPS, you go for the AC.
It was good for chasing down the Draw Ranger, but he does already have an SNY to deal with that, so maybe it wasn't needed. It's good AoE damage, I guess. It does a lot of. I mean, if you hit everybody in the enemy team with that, that's 1,000 magic damage. That's actually pretty impressive for about a 5,000 gold item. It's like a Dagon 5 essentially, but just in an AoE. So it does actually have a lot of offensive usefulness, and the attack speed reduction is great too. So MP is really farm though. Octarine Core, Boots of Travel, Yules, BKB, missing one major item left, and I kind of like, you know what No Lesh ever builds is Aghanims, and I feel like somebody should start building Aghanims as a 6th item. I don't know.
It's just the added damage on your ulti?
Yeah, it gives you, it's like 2 extra points in your ulti basically, which is quite a bit, I think. Might see an engagement here. Frev's gonna find this is probably the worst person running this. BKB, Mask and Madness, looking for the great gust actually. If Earthshaker dies, look at the speed coming out of him. Earthshaker's going to get picked out, pops the BKB, but a little bit too late. Winter's really low as well. Glimmercape buys him a second. Ultimate comes through. 2 dead heroes on G-Guard. That was Tinker falling down. Ling getting cleaned up as well, and MVP just stomping this fight.
Whew. Earthshaker running it, and also, you can see G-Guard, no Ghost Scepters on this. I feel like that's been a key item. Like, if your Earthshaker just has a Ghost Scepter, you pop that, you're fine against the Drow.
I really feel like Frev is playing Drow the right way that we don't see enough in a lot of other games.
These Frost Arrows.
The Frost Arrows are actually, it's like, wow, the skill points for the heroes actually are good, guys.
Yep. Well, now they're going to force out buybacks. Tinker holding on to his now, but they're going to lose the mid-melee rack, so it looks like bottom lane, the next target for them.
Sunby being aggressive, trying to hold him back, but he's very close to dying here. Stun lands, there's a dunk. Big dunk, picks him off. Freb gets disrupted, buys him some time, but I don't think he's got BKB. Gus buys him a little bit, running out now, gets killed by the Soul Rip. And Earthshaker drops as well. Net running for his life. BKB's going to save him. Nice escape from him. MP's going to do as much as he can here with his BKB, but the Tombstone's up. The zombies are building. He barely misses Yamate, but he won't be able to link. Disruption at the wrong time, I think, here. And that will be Heen's death. Still grabs the kill.
That's a dieback from Yamate, though, but he has managed to help kill off 4 MVP heroes. The chase is now on.
Frostbite coming. I think Link's got his ult. He does actually have his ult. He's got to wait for the stun. Here. He can, but I don't know if it's going to work. There's Frostbite. Here's the ultimate, and MP should fall to this. The CM ultimate is just so high damage right now, and with no magic resistance or BKB, that was him dying. So
he got the mid racks there and forced out a lot of buybacks. Could have just gone for Roche. I think maybe falling back and going for Roshan, but Tinker waited a long time to buy back, which at first I thought was a bad thing, but I think it was what caused MVP to overextend as much as they did, because they saw no Tinker buyback and they're thinking, okay, Tinker's dead. We've got this second lane of racks, but not the case.
It seemed like Sunby was very baited by that as well. It seemed like he's on a different page than his team. He was playing so up there and aggressive. He stood by the tower. He's like, go ahead, hit me. I'm really tanky. And then all of a sudden the fissure came, and the dunk especially. It was just a bit too much. So he didn't even get his ultimate off in that fight, actually. And that's something they really needed to win that second little bit there. And now the Roche goes down because they lost that fight, and G-Guard is definitely back in this game. And I would say that MVP had a bit of advantage. I have no idea what the gold graph looks like.
We're back to even.
It's about even, despite the kill discrepancy. Like, that's really impressive. The farm that MVP's been able to get on, what, four good farming heroes. Honestly, Lina can farm decently. Darkseer, Drow Ranger, and Lesh, all pretty good farming. Shadow Demon, not the best, but they've done a really nice job keeping things even here. Shiva's on Darkseer now, so a little bit of attack speed reduction coming out of G-Guard. Here comes the TP from Tinker. Can they get him? And the Dragon Slave. I don't know if he predicted that or they went a little early.
I think he should have glimmered in. That's what he's been doing all day long.
Yeah, it's a really good point.
He wanted to cancel the blink with the Dragon Slave.
No, you don't want to cancel it. You want to do... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought you said cancel a TP for some reason.
Yeah, cancel the blink.
I have no idea why I thought that. My bad. Canceling the blink's good. The best trick is his Zeus ult right before he TPs, because then you know that he's gonna not have blink.
Yeah, heads up from Yamate to cancel that one and see what HOT6 look to do. They probably do not want to fight or push into the Aegis cheese. If anything, they feel like they've got the edge. Just wait for these two. We'll wait for the Aegis to expire.
Bristol pretty far out. JX is in the cutting position. Drow Ranger on the bot lane's got to get there though, or the mid lane. She's running over as fast as she can.
They're 4 heroes in the trees on the northwest side of the map. They really want to take a fight up here.
Butterfly's ready.
And they're surrounding G-Guard.
Oh, they run in. There's one. Tombstone any second. Fissure comes through. Buys a little bit of time. Ling goes in as well. Winter gets blown up, but that was Aegis on him. Big ulti on Ben. That should be his cleanup. Nice target fire there for Jarek. And the CM ulti doing some good damage. Sunbee's low. Running for his life. And easy cleanup by Bristol. And now on top of the Lesh rack. He's got to go for the Lesh, but the Drow on the other side would pick him off. And it's a bit of hard target acquisition here.
Tinker's back. Tinker's going to TP in and look for some more. Lesh rack as well as Joe cannot match up against the full HP Tinker now. Trying to bring down the Bristol back with him, Ben. That's just going to be the one death on the A's. Nice Glimmer Cape as well. And Dro buys back as well as Darkseer. Somebody cannot do this on his own. Not sure what the plan is here.
Maybe.
There's a range creep there. What? Random range creep. And the suicide.
Cool. But that was a good play by Sunbee there. Iron Shell very good for stopping Tinker from blinking. Almost no way that he can get away with that. He didn't get the sacrifice there, did he? Or the suicide?
He did.
He did, okay.
Yeah. But he has no buyback.
Bastard. 45 seconds, 50 seconds, not the worst.
Thrown. Probably safer to go for Raxus here, but it looks like, oh, look at the creep wave.
That's
They
pretty good.
lost a tier 4 tower.
Only one left. Here comes the stun. Oh, good BKB. Now chasing after. Who's he go for? Probably Fred, but great surge by Sunby here. Keeps him out of danger, but instead, look at the damage he's taking by the Bristleback. Vacuum buys him a second. Great gust as well. Bit of a chain stun there. Ling pops the cheese, healing up with the Glimmer Cape now. And Fred got